Right, good morning, people on the Roller Derby Internet. Welcome back to day 3 of this regional tournament hosted by Crime City Rollers here in Malmö, Sweden. We have got a corking day of roller derby for you, starting off with Antwerp Roller Derby versus Stockholm Roller Derby. I'm Loud and Queer.
I'm Billy Nosegates.
And we are joined by the child on production to bring you this fantastic game. We're going to take you through the rosters first, and then we'll talk a little bit about how these teams have made it here. Billy?
I'm going to take you through Stockholm. So we've got playing for Stockholm today in the blue, number 10, Rainbow Spike, number 13, Fright Day, number 164, Isuahu, number 20, Smartan, number 241, Grumpy, number 25, Vagabondage, number 4, Foxen, number 404, Pardio, number 530, Slender Woman, number 55, Fury, number 56, Juking, number 57, Larm, number 614, Traktorn, number 817, Scandi Crush, and number 99 is Yelmet the Conqueror.
And playing in pink today, we have Antwerp Roller Derby, the One Love Roller Dolls. We have 05 Marie, 07 Cherry Mosh Pit, 10 Boo, 102 Ceramity Jane, 12 Check, 13 Queen Laquifa, 2 Freckles, 221 the Captain Shelock, 26 Sir Vixen, 357 Dark Pistol, 49 Eau de Villain, 5 Wildcard, 8 Hellfreya, 89 Hipshot, and 91 May Then.
So, Loud and Queer, these teams have met before.
They
want to talk us through some of what they've been doing when they've come together in the past?
So the last time they met was not that long ago, actually. It was at Capital Clash in March earlier this year. Now, Stockholm did come out on the bottom there with 120 points, but Antwerp only winning by 39 points, 159. So don't write Stockholm out, whatever the predictions or the rankings say. Stockholm came into this tournament ranked 10th, but they did upset the number 7 seed Helsinki, which meant that they played Crime City Rollers yesterday, losing that game, but a really great opportunity for that Swedish team. And Antwerp beat Tiger Bay in a proper nail-biter on day 1 of this tournament before losing to London. I'm really loving the colour combination on track right now, Billy. I'm not going to lie to you. Pink and blue, absolutely beautiful.
And Stockholm may have come in ranked 10th or seeded 10th in this tournament, but the lowest they can come out today is 8.
Yeah.
So they're going up either way.
Yeah, I think it will be really interesting to look at the rankings after this game. But we're off. Hipshot and Yelmet the Conqueror. First jammers. Yelmet picks up leads and almost has to reset, but actually manages to carry on. Hipshot struggling a little bit, but stays beautifully in bounds. One to beat at the front, that's Scandi Crush, and she completes the initial pass.
So if you only have one person to beat, and that person is Scandi Crush, then you're still in quite a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Scandi is a wall unto herself.
So first points of the day going to Stockholm.
And we have Partio lining up for Stockholm, and it's been really exciting to see Partio back for Stockholm.
Yeah.
Partio and Juking had a bit of a hiatus from Stockholm, and they have come back to really bulk up that already very impressive jammer roster. And it's wild card for Antwerp.
Partio has been one of Stockholm's strongest jammers this weekend, racking up quite a large percentage of points.
Yeah, no,
taking lead as well.
Yeah, she's been having a fantastic game. Catches Antwerp napping on that inside line, doesn't even touch the blockers in pink. Some great swarming work here from Stockholm's defence.
What was Antwerp's seeding coming into this?
Antwerp came into this as the number 8 seed.
So again, Antwerp aren't going to go down either.
No, they're going to come out either. They'll be basically the first 2 games we got this morning. So Antwerp versus Stockholm and Rainy versus Paris. If we're talking about tournament placings, they will be the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th places.
Yeah.
And of course, I hope you are on a comfortable seat today, good people on the Roller Derby Internet, because after Rainy Paris, after this game, we of course have the bronze medal game later on, London versus Nantes, which is going to to be a doozy. And then we have the gold medal game of Toulouse versus Crime City. So get yourself a large beverage and some good old sofa snacks.
Yeah, it's going to be intense. We've got Queen Laquifa up on the jam line at the moment for Antwerp.
And that's juking, I think, and it's a balletic spin on the inside.
Balletic, there's a good word for 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Yeah, juking again, one of the more successful jammers for Stockholm.
Yeah, used to skate under King K, for those of you who have been following Stockholm for a few years. Queen Laquifa having a little bit of trouble there against Idaho, but now manages to get the star pass off. That's to Marie. And I did say I have to make an apology, because on the stream yesterday I made the mistake of saying that Marie was the oldest player in Antwerp, but I have been told she's the youngest, so I got that mixed up.
That's quite the mix-up.
Well, I wanted to talk about Dart Pistol, who was the oldest, and I'll probably mention it a few times today, but this is actually going to be Dart Pistol's last game with Antwerp. She is retiring as a skater after 15 years of roller derby. Yeah, I'd retire too. We have Hip Shot now up against Yelmet again. Some interesting jammer matching going on here, because Hip Shot, easily Antwerp's most successful jammer this tournament. Yelmet having an absolute stormer though.
Yelmet picks up 1 point and calls that jam. So Stockholm so far, they're the only ones with points up on the board. Stockholm have had lead 100% of the jams we've had so far.
And at very early days, but we've got an official review being called by Antwerp. So just whilst we're waiting for the results of that official review, we'd like to thank our Jammerline sponsor, Sucker Punch Skate Shop. They're the biggest roller derby shop in Europe, fast shipping, largest stock and expert advice at the best price. I actually believe we've got a couple of people on the track right now who used to work for Sucker Punch Skate Shop, so seems apt.
Sounds like the rain is coming down outside here in Malmö as well. It's kind of held off for most of the weekend.
Yeah, you don't have our faces on screen, but you would have seen us both quirk an eyebrow at the ceiling going, we're in this kind of lovely tin-roofed sports hall. Very atmospheric with the rain coming down.
And I think I would also kind of like to thank Malmö.
Antwerp is requesting a backplug from the pink jammer.
So Antwerp are requesting a back block be issued, and it sounds like that's on the pink jammer. I don't think they'd be requesting an official review to be given to their pink jammer.
I'm expecting not.
What was that for? Antwerp are looking for a back block and it's equals on Stockholm streamer. I'll get back to you when we know what's going on.
Please do.
To be confirmed.
Let me know.
We'll find out momentarily. But yes, I was just about to say thanks to Malmö for hosting this fantastic tournament. They always put on a really good show. They look after their volunteers very well. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, they have fed us superbly well. I never want to leave Sweden. So we were talking before about the kind of journey of these two teams, and let's also talk about their growth in rankings, because they've both had quite significant jumps. I can't remember the exact numbers, to be fair, but Stockholm had a huge leap of something like 7 or 8 places between summer of 2023 and November of that year. And Antwerp jumped from number 15 in September 2023 to 8 by December of that same year. So both these teams know what it's like to defy the odds. We're going to hear the results of that review.
The official review is great.
So, very smart official review there, called by Antwerp. A back block is going to be issued to Yelmet the Conqueror, and Hip Shot has been put out for a second consecutive lead. Interesting strategy to start quite far down near the pivot line. Hip Shot takes that lead in about 5 seconds, and this is a chance for Antwerp to get on the board for the first time this game.
Antwerp goating Rainbow Spite at the back of that pack.
Not an easy thing to do.
Not an easy thing to do. Rainbow Spite, one of these players who's very experienced, has been in this situation so many times before, knows exactly what to do to shut them down.
Antwerp now goating Foxen as Yelmet the Conqueror re-enters track, star in hand, is trying to pass that star off, but fakes the pass, completes the initial.
Right, so Hipshot's had 2 scoring passes coming through for a third, and that is 12 points on the board for Antwerp, bringing it back to a 4-point game. And
this is what we saw Hipshot do so well yesterday against Tiger Bay. I think she ended up scoring something in the region of 60% of Antwerp's points. That's a statistic I'm pulling out of my head. I don't have the precise numbers, but it really wasn't far off. She's been an absolute game changer for the Belgian team.
So we've got Wildcard up on the jam line against Partio for Stockholm. If you've just joined us, Antwerp are in the pink, Stockholm are in blue. And it's a full-on scrum in that turn 1. Nobody's making any headway at all at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a weekend of some absolutely beautiful defensive work. We've had those lovely grindy jams a couple of times where the jammers haven't even gotten out or no lead established, and it's my favourite kind of derby.
We're also seeing, in quite a lot of cases, we're seeing the blockers committing all 4 players to defence and leaving the jammer to deal with that wall on their own. But
particularly characteristic of the French teams, I've noticed.
But in this case, when Stockholm did put in the offence, Partio got out. So also quite necessary.
And it's a cut track called on Partio. Nice drawback there from Cherry Mosh Pit, I believe. So now a second power jam for Antwerp and Wildcard. Could this be our first lead change of the game?
It could, but will it? And there goes Wildcard. That's the first 4 points going up on the board for Antwerp.
We've got a tied game.
Ooh, exciting times. Partio is standing in the penalty box. So Stockholm did well to hold Wildcard back in the first pass.
Stockholm really managing the speed of that pack very well, managing to keep that defensive structure to catch Wildcard on the pass.
And there goes Partio, clear of the pack first. That was a first scoring pass, a 4 going up on the board for Stockholm now.
Freckles heading to the box on a track cut for Antwerp, so they've got 3 in defence. Izaho coming in for offence, but once again, Cherry Mosh Pit with that drawback just neutralises Partio's scoring pass. We've got a tied game, Billy.
We have a tied game.
Happy Sunday.
Indeed. So if you drink when there's a lead change, what do you do when there's a tie game?
Just drink.
Just drink, okay.
Hydrate yourself. I've got water and coffee on the go.
Hydrate. I've got water and tea.
We're so wholesome, Billy.
Absolutely. Well, there's no alcohol in the venue anyway.
No, but we wouldn't drink on the job because we are, apart from the fact we don't get paid, we are professionals.
Also, the lovely Beatrix would actually kill us dead.
And quite right.
Ju King with the star for Stockholm takes lead jammer status.
Yeah, 100% lead for Ju King so far this game.
Antwerp now with 2 blockers in the box, leading to a slight advantage on track there for Stockholm.
I do wonder if Antwerp will start to jam a match because they've got Queen Laquifa out, who's a cracking little jammer, but Ju King is so successful that you wonder if you want to put out somebody like Hipshot to either match them or someone who's a very good neutraliser jammer. Oh, big hit on Queen Laquifa. Foxen going to the box, to the 888 penalty box for a low block.
And all of a sudden there we have a turnaround in the penalty box at Antwerp.
Yes.
All blockers on track, Stockholm struggling.
Yeah, Fury and Friday now re-entering the fray.
So Ju King is just running the clock and allowing Queen Laquifa to deal with those Stockholm blockers all.
Well, I think for both teams today, the only thing that matters now in this tournament is the rankings coming out of it. And the rankings will get impacted by these differentials. So Stockholm can afford to take the risks. Marie now with the star, no time to capitalise on that star pass opportunity. A huge jam for Stockholm, 12 points going up.
So at this point, still only 8 points in the game. We have just about had 10 minutes of play here in Malmö, and that is Hjelmet the Conqueror on the jam line.
And Stockholm have got a really deep jammer rotation. You've got Lam on there, you've got Smarten. We've not seen Smarten out of the star yet today, and they've been phenomenal this weekend. You've also got Slender Woman on that roster, but I've not seen her jam yet this tournament.
No, neither have I. And of course, Foxen as well is a very competent jammer.
Yeah, great pivots, Foxen.
Yeah.
Hip shot, working on this wall, but it is Hjelmet who finds the smallest of gaps to pick up lead once again for Stockholm. And Grumpy doing a little bit of shielding offense in the back for Hjelmet. Boo trying to slow Hjelmet's roll, but no such luck. Pops back and takes the star really nicely.
Hjelmet Conqueror just sliding around the outside of the track there to pick up all 4 points and calls that jam.
Picking up 8 points in that jam, holding Antwerp to 0. We are seeing a slight pull away in the
That's
lead.
Oda Villain, I think, first time on the track.
Yeah,
this morning.
hasn't had the most track time in comparison to Wildcard Queen and Hipshot this weekend, but has been a really good addition to that rotation this tournament, coming out a little bit more as a relief jammer. Lovely lateral coverage here from Stockholm. Antwerp locked down in this tripod. Friday trying to move check, which is a hard thing to do. Oh, but Partio with light feet hops around the outside, picks up lead. She's having a great game for Stockholm.
That was a beautiful move by Friday, who was in front of the pack playing offense, but then as the Antwerp jammer was looking like they might come through, Friday took a second, knocked them out, sent them back to reset, and then went back to offense.
Nice inside line coverage here from Stockholm, now resetting Partio for the second time. And Sherlock Holmes has now received the star for Antwerp. Yeah, Antwerp using these star passes really well the last couple of jams.
Partio calls that before Antwerp have a chance to put anything up on the board. Just waiting to see. Oh, 4 points for Stockholm.
Nice to see the teams smiling and high-fiving on track at the end of each jam. Like, these teams have played each other before, they will know each other like quite well, and it's been a very good tournament for kind of team camaraderie.
Yeah.
The vibes have been good, is what I'm trying to say.
They really have. We do like a good vibe.
It is interesting that the players are starting so far away from the Sucker Punch Jammer line, because what we've seen with the higher seeded teams a lot this tournament is they've really been hugging that jam line for all it's worth. Space is the name of the game in terms of not giving it up.
London have done the corners quite a bit.
Yeah, London play 4 corners quite a lot, but they really favour the jam line just in case. Oh, great eyes there from our jam refs. Duking was actually lead, but Queen Laquifa found a gap and left the engagement zone earlier, but really smart jammer awareness there.
Stockholm with a 21-point lead at the moment, so they want to try and preserve that as well as they can.
But as we know from this weekend, those leads can get shut down. I mean, if you get someone like with the likes of Vanilla Slice, who I think only puts up 20-plus point jams. It's been her kind of whole vibe this weekend. It's been her challenge to herself. I will not put up anything fewer than 12 points, otherwise I'm a failure.
If I haven't done 3 laps of the pack, then
what am I even
why
doing?
would I even be here?
Yeah, and of course you can catch Vanilla Slice and some other fantastic jammers in the games for the rest of the day.
art stickers.
And we've got one blocker currently sitting in the Triple Eight penalty box.
Well, speaking of Triple Eight, should we tell the good people at home why Triple Eight is so amazing?
I think we should, yeah.
So, Triple Eight have been revolutionising roller derby safety with cutting-edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. You can stay protected with Triple Eight, and we're really grateful to Triple Eight for their sponsorship of this tournament and for developing the certified sweat saver, developed, tested, and trusted by the best.
I mean, it's the only helmet I wear when I'm announcing.
I thought you were going to say it's the only helmet you wear when skating, and I just had this vision of you like with several helmets piled on top and you kind of unpacking them and going, no, this is the only one I need.
This is the one. Yeah, no, I don't skate, so.
Maybe we should wear, I mean, we're pretty high up in this venue, and I feel like if I leaned too enthusiastically over the table, I would need a Triple Eight helmet to protect myself.
So Antwerp have had a minute, they've had a reset, and they've put Hipshot out on the jam line, and there goes Hipshot.
Hipshot coming out with a real burst of speed.
Yellow Consker also clear of the pack on that initial pass, but Hipshot coming in to score. Takes the outside line, calls that jam, that was beautiful.
That outside line between turns 1 and 2 has been Hipshot's like happy place this weekend. She's so aware of her space, and really great work there neutralising Yelmet, who's had very high lead percentage there for Stockholm this game already.
Wildcard now taking the jam line up against Partio. For Stockholm. We've had.
I still don't understand why you're going to give either of these jammers a run up, but I'm not on track, so I'm just going to give my opinions and then be aware that they might be wrong.
So as it stands, 27 points are separating the two teams. We've just about had half of our first period go through. Antwerp on 31, Stockholm on 48, and Partio has picked up a truck cut and will go to the Triple Eight penalty box.
Yeah, Partio not looking happy as she takes a seat there. In the meantime, Wildcard able to pick up lead and a 3-on-3, now 4-on-3 pack as Wildcard comes round on their scoring pass.
So Stockholm throwing everything they have at the defence. Partio standing in the penalty box, so fewer than 10 seconds to stand. This has been quite a good penalty kill from Stockholm. They've really just made that wall impenetrable.
Yeah, and I feel a little bit sorry for Wildcard being left to their own devices there as Partio re-enters. And now Cherry Moshpit coming in, going into full D with Partio trapped behind this wall of pink. Wildcard has a couple to beat at the front as Partio completes the initial.
So Wildcard calling that before Partio has a chance to score, and of course 4 points picked up by Antwerp on that.
That's one of those really soul-crushing moments, isn't it? When you know you've got your 4 points, but you're still in the pack.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what do you mean? They're not just going to let me through. I've got their points already. Just let me go.
Antwerp taking on 48 of Stockholm. We are halfway through this first half, a quarter of the way through, if you will.
We've got Juking on the jam line up against Eau de Vilaine for Antwerp.
Yeah, Eau de Vilaine's second jam today. Juking just so good on that outside line, picks up lead very quickly, and a super quick star pass off to Marie.
Oh, and Juking 100% lives to their name now, coming around the outside, big hit from Sheila.
So Juking with the star in hand, just about squeaking through. Oh no, that was not legal.
Forearm.
Multiplayer.
And not only lead jammer,
Juking.
I thought it was a forearm that was signalled to Marie, but either way, you've got Juking on a power jam now, and that's not a good place for Antwerp to be.
No, 8 points up on the board, and Juking coming around for another scoring pass.
And Stockholm doing a really nice job at splitting Antwerp up. Eau de Vilaine picking up a direction of play penalty, and that's going to leave Antwerp short and at a power jam disadvantage going into jam 14.
Yelmet the Conqueror coming on to jam for that power start for Stockholm.
And see, this is, again, I'm saying this as an objective observer. you see Antwerp trying to get back and swallow off that jam line then, but just a bit too little too late. Jelmet zipping down that outside line to pick up lead. Marie back in play.
Jelmet the Conqueror on a first scoring pass, stretching that pack out, and they've got to let Jelmet go.
And a real bit of trouble for Antwerp here as Marie heads back to the box, to the 888 penalty box for a track cut.
Another 4 on the board for Jelmet the Conqueror.
Yeah, and see how Stockholm go to work here and just don't let Antwerp settle into a structure. Oh, this is some really ice cold benching from Stockholm, because do you know what they've done? They've iced Marie in the 888 penalty box for a third consecutive jam. As in, this is the third jam that she's been on, the second as a jammer. That's mean. I mean, all's fair in love and roller derby, but
Marie went on to track as a pivot.
Stockholm with a really nice score right now, 69 plays at 35.
Nice.
A decent differential with the Swedish team out in front.
So, I know you've been saying that Stockholm haven't allowed Antwerp to kind of form a defence, but I think the 2 and 2 is a strategy for Antwerp. I don't think it's accidental that they're in 2 different places.
Don't get me wrong, I think they probably are, but very much playing in pairs and using the buddy system.
Yeah.
You know, crossing the road and roller derby, a good way to live your life.
Field trips.
But I just think that what Stockholm, they're to use the vernacular, they're getting up in Antwerp's grill. You know, if you watch them on the pass, they will go and stand. They'll almost pick a player and mark a player,
right?
Kind of like rugby football.
Yeah.
You know, can't believe I just mentioned a ball sport in this hallowed hall. I'm so sorry, people of the roller derby internet.
There's something else that I want to point out right now, and that is the state of the track tape. Shows you where the action has been this whole weekend.
Is it the outside line by any chance?
Yeah, the outside, and then turn 1. Look at turn 1.
For sure. Really nice power kill here from Antwerp. Marie back on track. And Antwerp in full defensive mode. Antwerp have put hip shot out with the pivot colour, which is a smart move.
Danger, Will Robinson. Oh, and a penalty being called.
This
on
is
Rainbow Spite.
And a penalty for Shelock as well. So 3-3 on the trap. Really nice work here defensively. Hip shot, one first to be at the front, and after over 40 seconds, Juking picks up the lead, but a star pass now to hip shot. That's great work from Antwerp.
It is great work from Antwerp, considering that Juking started in a power start situation. They really shut the doors, made sure Juking wasn't going to get through.
And with a blocker deficit, hip shot actually puts the first points of the jam up.
Juking calls the jam.
And with a slightly late jammer call, Hipshot actually puts up 2 additional points. So Antwerp outscore Stockholm despite having had a jammer re-enter from the box and pass the star. So that's really fantastic work.
I think Juking's going to be a little bit good about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there was a slight look of, excuse me, about them, but this is roller derby. The beauty of this sport is that you're officiated by human beings, not by robots.
An official timeout is happening.
Yeah, and everyone seems very spread out. Refs, officials, players, bench crew. It's a very Renaissance painting view on track. And you can see on your screen the Swedish have started to dance.
Indeed.
And when the Swedish start to dance, you know it's going to be a good day.
Please keep that going during the day. I am far too close to
I was going to say, come back, Charity, run away.
So that's Partio up against Wildcard for this next jam.
Yes, becoming quite a familiar matchup. Both jammers trying for the outside line, off the sucker punch jammer line. Wildcard almost swimming through Stockholm, who are in full defensive lockdown, and Partio finding space beautifully on the outside. So Antwerp dropping into this full defensive structure, and Partio sliding almost without effort round the out, does put a foot out and has to reset. She's such a smooth jammer, do you know what I mean? Like yeah. I have no more words, Billy. You have some words.
Sometimes you just kind of run out of words while you're watching the roller derby. Partio calls that jam, and we've just had some information from our producer, The Child, that this jammer matchup that we had in the last jam with
Wildcard and
Partio have been paired up 5 times in this game already, and we're only on 16 jams.
And you wonder if, like I said earlier, if the Antwerp are going to start jammer matching, pack matching.
Well, we've got Jelmet the Conqueror up against Eau de Vilaine on this occasion. And they love Scandi, apparently.
Eau de Vilaine takes a big hit off Scandi Crush. What a way to die, right? Jelmet escorted to the outside by Mayhem, Shulock and Dark Pistol. Eau de Vilaine with 1 to beat now too. Oh, phenomenal offense there by Chet. Eau de Vilaine picking up her first lead status of the game, I believe. Oh, but a forearm on Eau de Vilaine. What a shame for Antwerp. Jelmet has not completed the initial though.
Yeah, but Antwerp have been second runner-up in terms of lead jammer status for the last 6 jams. So it was really unfortunate for Eau de Vilaine to pick up that penalty at this point.
Nice patient work there from Stockholm to get Jelmet out. And now they go to Goat Sherlock Holmes.
And Eau de Vilaine back on track as Jelmet the Conqueror still completing that initial pass.
Oh, and a lovely little assist there from Sherlock on the inside line to kind of hand whip Eau de Vilaine past the Stockholm wall.
We're going to have another 30 seconds in this jam because we have no lead jammer. Eau de Vilaine had lead and then went to the box.
And do you know what? Antwerp doing a really nice job locking Jelmet down this jam. She's not got points up on the board yet, which means that even if she has points in the pocket, she's not completed the pass. Oh, and just as I say that, Jelmet does some phenomenal spin work through the apex.
So a net gain of 4 points for Antwerp on that jam. They picked up 8, Stockholm picked up 4.
A little bit of timing discombobulation there, because on the board the jam clock had run down completely, and it was in lineup countdown about 4 seconds before the whistles went.
Crash course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength.
My goodness, we're at just under 6 minutes to go, and I think we've got an official a team timeout. My apologies, called by Stockholm roller derby.
Yeah, Antwerp getting a little bit of ahead.
I think Antwerp's real strength comes in their kind of clogging defence. What we saw really nicely in that last jam is them setting up a 3-wall with a floater, and then if the jammer moved, the floater would mirror and move, and then they would get caught again and minimise their space movements. So that was lovely work from the Belgian team.
Do you know who else does lovely work?
I'm sure you're going to tell me, Billy.
Skate and Create Factory.
They do! Why don't you tell us about Skate and Create?
Well, if you need a gift for the skater in your life, you can get skate-themed art, stickers and gifts from Create and Skate Factory, a passion project by Jukebox. Duke's a fellow roller derby skater playing in Barcelona, but you remember Jukebox from your time skating with London Roller Derby, USA Roller Derby, Minnesota or Madison. You can find out more on www.createandskatefactory.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory. Every sale supports a fellow skater.
Yeah, she has lovely stuff. Do you know who else has lovely stuff?
Who else has lovely stuff?
Antwerp and Stockholm.
Antwerp and Stockholm have lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff. Oh, now here's a matchup for the books. Hip shot and juking. Hip shot flying through like a wrecking ball. And I think that's going to be either the first or second time that juking has not had leads.
It's the first time, I believe.
Hip shot taking no prisoners here.
So I believe one of the Stockholm blockers has taken themselves off track, possibly with an injury. So I'm hoping there's nothing serious happening there. Oh, and the jammer drawback. Hip shot in control of the clock, drags juking all the way back, forcing that call off.
And there's going to be a team an official review for Antwerp. Of course, they did have one already this game, but they won it, so they retained that review. The pacing of the game seems to be a little back and forth at the moment, a little staccato.
Yeah, but we've had approximately a 30-point spread for the last several minutes. So while Stockholm initially took off, put up some big points at the beginning of the game, Antwerp are kind of now at a place where they're matching.
It feels like that Antwerp have kind of won the last few jams.
Yeah.
But of course, I think what we've seen this weekend is that once a team gets ahead, it's taken a lot for the team behind to claw it back, and it's not always happened. I think that's what forgive me if this is too painful to talk about, but I think that's what happened with Rainy Nantes yesterday. Once Nantes had the lead, even though it was only by a whisker, they kind of seemed to hold on to it. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it's another game.
I think Rainy Nantes was close all the way through.
Yes.
Just within touching distance the whole time.
But I think maybe the better example is Dock City. We'll come back to that.
Antwerp is requesting a cut call on the blue pivot.
Cut call being requested by Antwerp on the blue pivot in the previous jam. Just going back to what we were saying. Dock versus Lom, the first game. Was it Dock versus Lom? No, Dock versus Paris. Here's my memory. Welcome back. Dock versus Paris, the first game, had Paris in the lead by 6 points at half time, and Paris won by 6 points.
That's right,
so for me, that's a really good example of there were no lead changes after that. Paris, Dock was still playing at an incredible level, but once Paris had that very slight lead, and it's happened with a couple of other games. So the real question that Antwerp will have to answer, maybe over the half-time in 5 minutes or so, is how do you get back a lead of just under 30 points?
It's going to be an uphill struggle for sure.
What would you do, Billy, if you were Antwerp right now?
I'd probably go and have a lie down.
Okay. Yeah, no, I take your
I
point.
think you're probably asking the wrong person here.
Oh, a spicy scenario. Stockholm trying to call an official review of their own, but being told by the head ref, you can't do that whilst there's an official review ongoing. Maybe.
Stockholm are now controversially requesting another review.
Yeah, so the no call stands for Antwerp's review. So they have now lost their official review for this half. Stockholm now calling a review of their own. How can we keep up with all these shenanigans, Billy, I ask you?
Well, I think if you're struggling to keep up, Crash Court helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, conquer self-doubt, and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. We'd love for you to join our community where we're constantly working to support each other, lift each other up, and inspire each other to crush goals. If you want free derby-specific workouts and athlete mindset tips so you can level up this year, then at Chrissy Crash, get them here. At Chrissy Crash is spelled KRISSYKRASH. Life is a contact sport, so go out there and win.
I love the idea that if I did a Chrissy Crash course, I could have a better memory to be an announcer.
Stockholm is requesting a high block on the pink jammer.
So Stockholm requesting that a high block be issued to the pink jammer. That was hip shot in the last jam, I believe
Yeah.
so. I mean, cool, fair enough. But if that is issued, then you're going to put hip shot in the box. Okay, fair enough. You have 30 seconds to play with, but then you have hip shot. Why would you willingly say we would like hip shot 2 jams in a row? That's my mind. That's my approach to it.
I think you make a good point.
But I mean, I don't think I've ever made a good point in my life, Billy, to be honest. So don't give me credit where credit's not due.
Okay, I take it all back. Right. So
Quite right.
we've got about 5 minutes left in this first period, so I think
And it's all good vibes on track. Antwerp have now started to dance. Whoa! Okay, Marie's only like 21, so I feel like she's able to do a number of spins because she's still got the use of her knees.
right.
We can ask that band to leave. We've got hard time.
As long as it's not somebody else's knees she's using, I suppose that's okay.
Quite right. Okay, some movement, some moving and shaking on track. Captains going over to Baff, our head referee. I was having a chat with Baff at breakfast, and he was saying how utterly professional the crews and the volunteers and the announcers and the officials have all been this weekend. And I did kind of look at him and go, if we're professional, how much are we getting paid? And then I reminded myself that the only salary is joy.
The only salary is joy, but it has been so much joy.
So much joy.
Non-call stats.
And the results of that official review in the no-call stand. So both teams lose their official review for this half.
Only 5 minutes left in the period, so
Might
I
as
feel
well
like
use them.
You may as well.
Use it or lose it.
Stockholm have had a nice little break there. They've had a chance for their
And we've
jams
got
to get back up.
interesting setup off this line. That's I believe that's that's 1-2 check, setting up right in front of Partio. This is not a setup we've seen yet. Both teams have been quite happy to hang out between the sucker punch jammer line and the pivot line.
Score stands at 56 to Antwerp.
I just got Czech's name.
Less than 31 points in it. We've seen bigger gaps
You notice
this weekend.
1-2 check. Yeah, me too.
Czech on everybody else, the name is under the number, but Czech's name is at the top, so it's Czech,
Check
1-2.
1-2. Oh, isn't it good when we learn things, Billy? Lovely work from Wildcard here. 2 to be at the front. That's Foxen and Rainbow Spite. Wildcard is gliding away. They are lead for Antwerp. That is quite unusual to see Partio without a whistle and a finger pointing at them. But they do clear the initial.
Of course, only 2 blockers for Stockholm starting on that last jam.
Yeah, smart benching there from Antwerp. They're going to leave 1 Stockholm blocker in the 888 penalty box. And that's the 3rd lead for Antwerp in a row. So definitely a momentum shift, starting to pick away at that differential. Only 21 points separating these 2 teams.
So about 4 minutes left in this period. Stockholm are going to do everything they can to take that lead into the half. And they're going to put Jelmet the Conqueror up on the jam line. And the hip shot for Antwerp looking like lead, and hip shot is your lead jammer. Beautiful footwork there from hip shot, managing to stay upright and in bounds.
Just superb control from the Antwerp jammer there. And tries to dip around Scandi Crush, who says, not today, hip shots. Nice shielding offense coming in there from Sherry Moshpit.
Points and call. 2 points, 3 points going up on the board for Antwerp.
And this is, I think, what Antwerp will do now. Like, whilst they're still at the deficit, if they're in control, they're not going to run those jams. They're going to either neutralise it at 0-all, or they're going to get points and call. And that's sensible to do when you're actually so evenly matched as teams.
So, Ode Vilaine taking the start for Antwerp and duking for Stockholm. And it is Ode Vilaine.
Yeah. Track cut going to Sherlock Holmes. And a star pass going off to Foxen on the Stockholm side. And yeah, as I was saying, even though Antwerp, are short on blockers for the next jam, they would rather take those points and not risk Stockholm putting a score up in the jam.
Smart jamming. They've narrowed that lead now to 15 points.
This is tense, Billy. I feel tense.
Yeah.
Roller derby physiologically is not very good for you, is it? Raises your blood pressure, gives you goose pimples.
Even when you're announcing.
Yeah, oh God, more so. I feel I get more tense when I'm announcing than when I'm actually playing.
Well, that's Partio pushing those Antwerp blockers further and further forward. They're going to have to let Partio go. Partio is your lead jammer. Wildcard still struggling at the back of that pack with the Stockholm blockers walling up very solidly. Oh, and a little bit of jammer defense by Partio.
Nice edging out on the outside line there by Boo. Just causes Partio to put a millimetre of a toe stop out and forces the call off.
Crucially, Stockholm had picked up all 4 points in that jam before Foxen had a chance to.
But you know what? It's only 19 points now.
It is only 19 points.
Oh, Billy, I'm not a fan of spicy food, but I'm a fan of spicy roller derby.
Well, spicing it up for you right now, we've got Jelmut the Conqueror up against Hipshot.
I love this matchup. Ooh. Great reforming at the front there from Stockholm. Hipshot actually made it past all the blockers, but not out of the engagement zone. And Hipshot somehow working her way through 4 Stockholm blockers, but lovely drawback there by Fury.
That was some sweet blocking there.
Really great zonal defense here from both teams.
Half a minute has gone by with no lead jammer being called. We're all still stuck here in turn 1.
I mean, look at that Antwerp wall though. You've got Mayhem, Check and Shelock. That's brutal.
It sure is.
That's quality building materials, that is, for a wall. Those are some good bricks.
Hipshot is your lead jammer.
Yeah, 50 seconds, and Hipshot, I'm not going to lie, this is the first time I've seen Hipshot look a little bit gassed this weekend. That's a really tough initial pass. Check goes, don't worry, I've got you. Throws in some offense, but Hipshot is escorted to the outside lane. And we're in reverse roller derby.
So Hipshot, no surprises here, has been the highest scoring jammer for Antwerp so far in this game, but
I'm shocked.
Hipshot taking the time, not putting a burst of speed on, just trying to deal with that pack and take the points before the halftime whistle goes. Check coming back to play some offense, but picks up a penalty.
Yeah, back block there from Check.
And Hipshot being drawn back again, and Foxen with the star now for Stockholm, forcing that call off from Hipshot. So that's going to take us into the half.
And Hipshot does add 3 points to Antwerp's total. That jam, 3 really hard-fought points. What a nice score to end on, 85 to 69. We will be back in about 13 minutes. Refresh your beverage, stretch your legs, but do come back. We'll see you soon.
Hydrate.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Okay, and welcome back to the second half of Game 1 of Day 3 of this WFTDA regional tournament here in Malmö, Sweden. Did I get all my numbers right, Billy?
You did, and just in case you were wondering what the numbers were, we've got Antwerp Roller Derby on 69 points.
Nice.
And Stockholm Roller Derby on 85.
Do you know what I like most about us, Billy? Is that we're professional.
Absolutely.
And mature to boot.
I mean, that goes with the big bucks, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's why they pay us the big bucks.
Yeah, the big bucks, the joy salary. Billy, what have you made of this first half of this first game of this third day?
Of the rest of your life. Yeah. I have been constantly entertained, and there was, at least in the beginning, Stockholm had a couple of big jams, and they kind of pulled ahead. And for a little while, Antwerp were kind of matching. So they pulled ahead, and then Antwerp were able to maintain the gap, and then Antwerp started closing.
It's been a bit of a, not so much a yo-yo, such as a small pendulum. Swinging back and forth. But it's interesting that you say big jams, because yes, there have been a few kind of 11 points, 12 points, but we've had some big old jams this weekend, 20 points, 24 points. None of those in this game so far.
There's still time. I think the biggest jams we've had have been 12 points. I think that was
and that was hip shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So of course it was hip shot. And speaking of, up she goes against Hjelmet the Conqueror. Hjelmet incidentally used to play for Birmingham Roller Derby. She's got a few Barummy fans in the audience this weekend. Speaking of which, we would like to reiterate that there is no alcohol allowed in the venue. It is just before midday here in Malmö, Sweden, and the people are just high on roller derby.
Well, I don't think they can actually stop you from bringing in alcohol if the alcohol is in your bloodstream.
Let's not encourage the good people, Billy. In the meantime, Hitshot tries the inside line, finds it shut down. Hjelmet has 1 to beat, 2 to beat, is lead for Stockholm. I was about to say it's lead for Birmingham, and I realised that's not correct anymore.
Taking almost 15 seconds for a lead to be called, but Hipshot is clear of that pack.
And Czech leaving the 888 penalty box. So all players released in time for the next jam.
Wild card lining up against Partio for this next jam.
I always want to know why. I might go ask them later how Wildcard got their name, because it's like, are you some kind of like Vegas hotshot? Do you have a dark past in the gambling dens of Sin City?
In that case, I'm also starting to wonder what Partio might be.
I think you'd find that out at the after party tonight if you are staying for that, because the Swedes know how to get on down. Speaking of, there she goes, lead for Stockholm. She's had her protein shake at half time.
Wildcard with star in hand, not sure whether they're planning to pass off to the pivot or just retain and maybe do a little bit of a fake out.
Nice hit out by Fury, who
Ace head hit the floor.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a fast and furious end to that jam, because Fury did a lovely hit off on Wildcard, then recycled, and then fell over and had someone fall on top of her, I think. The sequence of events is already blurred in my brain, Billy, because of the time-space continuum and how it doesn't exist within this hallowed hall.
Indeed. But during that last jam, Stockholm racking up another 4 points, just kind of extending that lead a little bit.
Tickling the century, as we might say.
Tickling the century, within 7 points of said century. Caressing it gently.
Oh, Billy.
From a slight distance.
Oh, Billy.
It's taking us up to a 24-point gap between the teams at this stage.
Ooh, look at that mathematics coming in. Look at you and your waistcoat and tie and your mathematical ability.
Tickling 100 points.
Stop. I regret saying it. Duking and Hipshot now. Hipshot, I reckon, going to be on a high rotation this half.
Hipshot is the jammer that has been most successful against this Stockholm team.
Yeah, but Stockholm only running a 3 jammer rotation so far, so no Smarten yet to be seen with the star. Duking throws off a hit from Czech, but Hipshot with some nice offense from the same. Ducks dives, picks up the 4, and it's a 20-point spread.
Yes, this is nice, even distances between the numbers makes it a little bit easier to figure out.
Eau de Villaine out again. We've not seen Queen Laquifa for a while on Antwerp's side, so it feels like they've dropped her out of their rotation. We may see her come back. Who knows?
Indeed.
All scrummed up on the Sucker Punch jammer line.
Eau de Villaine.
Eau de Villaine so similar in style and stature to Hipshot that I sometimes get confused when I see her on track.
Also similar in style and stature to Jelmut the Conqueror, who's pushing away at the front of that pack.
Yeah, Jelmut's so physically strong. And a power jam now for Jelmut the Conqueror. Did you see what Eau de Villaine went to the box for?
I did not. I was watching the action at the front of the pack and I missed completely what it was.
The child, could you check for us what penalty Eau de Villaine got, please?
Jelmut coming around for a scoring pass.
And Stockholm playing a really smart game here. It's a cut track. Thank you for that, the child. Now, that's interesting, because I thought Stockholm were goating Boo, the pivot in the back, in preparation for Eau de Villaine's re-entry. But actually, I think they were trying to ice Eau de Villaine, but she was sprung.
Yeah, I think they were going for
the ice,
start, but they just
for the ice box.
Quite managed to time it right. So 2 jammers on the jam line now. That's Hipshot.
4-3 on track in favour of Antwerp.
Hipshot and Palio. Hipshot clear off the pack first. Picks up lead jammer status for Antwerp.
And Hipshot, as she comes down for the jammer, has got the pack advantages. We have 2.
Lovely juke thrown there by Hipshot. I've said this about Hipshot before, but I feel like she's got the most control over her whole body of virtually any jammer I've seen. Like, it feels like every movement is so efficient. After 2 passes, Partio now completes their initial 2 passes from Hipshot, I should say.
I had a little moment there where I was watching the refs very carefully because I thought that forearm penalty was being issued to Partio, but it wasn't.
Nice drawback by Shelock. Check and made them in the wall for Stockholm. Scandi Crush, Foxen, and I think Rainbow Spite setting up in this lovely cloggy melee. And our excellent producer, the child, tells us that Hipshot has scored 63 points for Antwerp this game.
63 out of 85 points is quite something.
I'm going to do the maths on that real quick because I love me some maths when it's related to roller derby. So that's 74% of Antwerp's score.
So I think Hipshot should just be on every jam for the rest of this game.
I think so.
This is also one of the most troubled I've seen Partio, and the longest I've seen any team holding Partio. Obviously, this is Partio's first scoring pass, so it's not an initial.
Yeah.
They have completed a first pass. But,
I think
Antwerp
she's got points in the pocket. What Stockholm are doing really well is shutting down the outside line for Hipshot in those last couple of moments. Oh, that's the biggest jam of the game for either team. 15 points for Antwerp. We're 10 points away, Billy.
My word.
My goodness, golly, and indeed gracious. That is quite unbelievable. 4 points in that jam for Stockholm, but 4 very hard points. And we're all tangled up at the Sucker Punch jammer line. Duking and Wild card against Foxen and Fright Day. Very tight pack, Billy, isn't it?
It's a very tight pack indeed. In fact, it's one of those moments where I was just watching it so closely that I forgot that I was supposed to be talking about it as well.
You do get kind of mesmerised by the quality of this roller derby. Oh, unbelievable. Wildcard out in front, but Duking does have the lead status.
So Vagabondage is in the penalty box for Stockholm, so I'm just waiting to see at what point they call. And
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that Stockholm didn't burn a bit more clock there, but it is what it is. C'est la vie, we moved.
Sylvie, indeed. I think perhaps it might have been. It's Marie that's in the penalty box for Antwerp, and Marie has been an absolutely pivotal person in the pack.
She's just been everywhere, hasn't she? Yeah. And for such a young player as well, really excellent. 3-3 on the track. Eau de Villaine and Smarten for the first time. So Smarten will have legs that are fresh. Smarten had a great game in Stockholm's first game against Helsinki, if memory serves. So very interesting strategically to bring them out at this point.
Just knocked to the outside there, forced the reset behind check 1-2.
And nice tenacity there from Eau de Villaine. So Martin with star in hand.
More than 30 seconds there for a lead to be called. Have we had a star pass to Scandi Crush? I believe we have.
Yeah, and great communication there from Marie. I heard that from here. Going, Pivot's got it! Pivot's got it!
Well, the Pivot who's got it also hit Eau de Villaine to the outside. And Pivot, I'm a jammer, I'm a defensive player.
Oh, Scandi Crush is the jammer.
And we're going to call it there.
Yeah, and you've got to hand it to Scandi. She's such an experienced player. She stays cool under pressure. And she knows that actually we've got to just burn seconds off the clock.
So we have got a 6-point game at the moment.
And we've got an official review being called by Antwerp's bench, Johnny Be Good.
Very early in the game.
In the half, I suppose, but he did win the first one in the first half. So
that's true.
And Johnny Be Good is a very experienced referee, so we shall have to see what the outcome of this is. A nice little murmur in the crowd this morning in Baptista Hallen.
I believe the 888 penalty box is empty at the moment.
Billy, you know what you've just done though, right? You've jinxed it.
I've jinxed it.
You've cursed it. The Swedish have started to sing. You know, some people go to church on Sunday morning, but we go to roller derby.
Antwerp is requesting a low block on their blue jammer.
Ooh, so Antwerp are using their official review to request a low block on the jammer in the previous jam. So they're saying that Smarten. Oh no, the Pivot turned jammer, so that's Scandi. Okay. Spicy
indeed.
Times.
We'll have to wait and see what comes back.
But you knew that because I did all the right hand movements, didn't I? Stockholm, one in a back block, on a low block, on a jammer, there was the pivot.
Our house announcers, as you can see on the screen, have gone ever so slightly insane, but in the best possible way. They're having a dance, they're having a good time.
I think they might have had too much coffee this morning, to be honest.
Look, if you've ever had coffee in Sweden, it's about 4 times stronger than the strongest coffee in the UK. Like, it has made me vibrate.
Actually, for those of you at home who can't see the announcers here,
they're a good-looking bunch, first of all.
Loud and Queer is levitating about 2 inches above.
Yeah, no, I've not actually sat down this whole weekend.
It's hovering. And here we go.
The no-call stance. So Antwerp will lose their official review for the half. I mean, it's a really smart time to use an official review, because if you can ice a Pivot as jammer in the box, then you take away some of that threat. But we are all go on the sucker punch jammer line. Hip shot and Yelmet the Conqueror. Hip shot really faster this half, I feel. Like, deceptively so, and just ducks her shoulders beautifully to slice through the Stockholm blockers.
This is interesting in terms of points. Are we going to have a lead change in this jam?
Nice drawback from Fury on hip shot. Marie going to the box for Antwerp. Foxen trying to get in position for a really slick star pass. I've got to say, every time I've watched Stockholm during this tournament and after, their star passes have been instrumental. A very frantic call-off from Antwerp there.
Johnny Be Good was frantically signalling.
Johnny Be Good in his cropped pink gilet.
His cropped pink
It's
gilet.
really delightful.
Trying to get the call off, but the jammer being slightly focused on, I think.
Goose egg jam there, 0-all. 98 for Stockholm, 92 for Antwerp.
6-point
My
game.
skin is well and truly goosebumped.
And we have an official timeout happening at the moment.
This game feels quite characteristic of a lot of games. Oh, I'm making foul noises because Emke, the jammer referee for Antwerp, has just gone and clarified the score. That was 4 points for Antwerp. So we've got a 2-point game, Billy.
We've got a 2-point game, and I think this next jam is going to take us over 100 points for one of these two teams. 20 minutes left in the half.
Look at these gorgeous defensive structures from both teams. Oh, wild cards, really nice work there. Sees an opportunity, takes it for all it's worth. Partio flies into check, stays in bounds by the inch of her toe stops.
Wildcard taking the opportunity to call that jam before Partio has a chance to score.
And 1 point picked up for Antwerp. My days and stars, we are in for a ride here, Billy. 19 and a half minutes to play. And you cannot, do you know what I love about this weekend? The majority of the Derby world is based in North America, right? The majority of leagues, the majority of like the world's top teams, whatever you want to call it. This weekend is a great reminder that European roller derby is some of the most exciting gameplay out there. Like, there have been so many super tight, really hard-fought games, incredible creativity, monumentally good skating. And I hope that we have people watching from around the world, not just Europe, and really kind of going, oh, yeah, Euro Derby is where it's at this weekend. As it always is in my life.
As it always is.
But I've got a real pride about it this weekend, like to be at the biggest European tournament, you know, this season is such a privilege.
It really is.
I'm getting emotional now, Billy, basically. That's what
One
I'm
of the
saying.
things that I love about European roller derby that you don't see so much in North American roller derby particularly is that fans travel. Fans travel to support their team, and they're there making the noise.
Yeah, you've got people here from Germany, you've got people here from Belgium, from Sweden, from the UK, from France, Finland. We've actually got the Golden City. Some people from the Golden City Rollers from South Africa here because they're on their European tour right now.
Because they know that European roller derby is where it's at.
Well, they're trying to get their first WFTDA ranked games in. Duking locked down in a 4-wall formation at the front. Eau de Villaine battling away against 3. Scandi Crush. Oh, and that's a really big cut track for Eau de Villaine, and I think she knew it, but chanced it anyway. We've got a power jam now for Duking, who has picked up lead for Stockholm.
So a little bit of penalty trouble starting to creep in for Antwerp. We do have one of their blockers who's been pivot on a number of occasions, Marie.
She's on 5, isn't she?
No, on 6 now.
6, yeah.
Stockholm have got the 100 mark. 102 to Stockholm. Oh, and Jammer switcheroo in the penalty box.
Yeah, we've not seen this a lot, but actually it's not a total switcheroo because Eau de Villaine had left the box. But this is going to be, I believe, our first 2-minute jam
Of the second period.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, we had 1 in the first period, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, there's not been a lot of cases where the lead jammer has lost lead.
No, and it feels like relatively few jammer penalties as well. Great power kill here by Stockholm. And a pass goes off to Boo. who's put a real shift in his pivot this weekend. 19 seconds left on the jam clock.
Boo coming around for a first scoring pass just as Ju King rejoins the track.
And Boo's got at least 1 point in the pocket there, but Ju King determined to put up some of their own.
3 seconds left in the jam. Ju King clears that pack, takes the 4 points. Lovely work from Stockholm.
But 2 points going up for Boo. I love that Boo put up 4 fingers to her referee and they just went, no, you can have 2. That's the best I can do for you. I love it when jammers negotiate with their refs.
So we currently have a 7-point game. Antwerp are on 99 points.
Oi, tickling that century.
Tickling it.
Tickling.
Stockholm have had a good grow.
And Yelmit for the rest of oh, that was brilliant work from Antwerp. Czech engaged with the Stockholm wall like a jammer.
Right.
And they committed to her so much that they thought that hip shot just went past. Scandi Crush though with the star now.
And a full scoring pass there for Scandi Crush. And the crowd are loving that. Scandi Crush, a local favourite.
Yeah.
Ooh, and a second full scoring pass for Scandi Crush.
And hip shot in the box now for a back block, a second consecutive 2-minute jam. Scandi Crush with such careful skating right now. Beautiful work.
Scandi Crush has been a mainstay of European roller derby for many a long year now, and that experience is really showing on track.
Yeah, she's always such a calm head. And hip shot re-entering play now. Czech going to the box, the 888 penalty box for Antwerp. Hip shot being contained quite well by Stockholm right now. Idaho going to the box for Stockholm, and we're in the grind, Billy.
We're in the grind with 25 seconds left in this jam. Scandi Crush doing a defense as well as the point scoring role for Stockholm, but hip shot is clear of the pack. Puts the 4 points up on the board.
Yeah, that characteristic duck and dive from hip shot. And Scandi is putting up one of the biggest jams of the game so far.
Lovely little knock to the outside there from Scandi on hip shot. And that's the end of the jam, so 3 more points going up for hip shot.
So 12 points for Antwerp. They break the century. But 16 for Scandi.
That's incredible.
To put that up as a pivot is so cool.
Absolutely huge jam. So we now have an 11-point game with 14 and a half minutes left on the period clock.
Well, they just got to put Scandi out to do
everything.
Put her on the jammer rotation, give the people what they want.
We've got a team timeout being called by Antwerp now. They're just having a little moment to regroup. I think it's a good choice at this stage with a few jammer penalties starting to kind of...
And especially with this smaller jammer rotation that Antwerp are running this half. And don't forget, like we talked about earlier, Stockholm do have the deeper rotation.
They do.
And speaking of which, they're putting Smarten out for the second jam of this game. So Smarten will be fresh, will be a bit more unpredictable because they've not adapted to their style. Antwerp haven't adapted to their style, I should say.
I'm wondering a little bit if Johnny the Good is regretting using that official review earlier in this half.
I think # no regrets. I think it was a worthy go. I think it's very rare that you go into an official review being absolutely confident you're going to win it, because if it was that obvious, our superb officials would have called it already. Speaking of our superb officials, we'll give them a shout out now. Your crew for this game, the head ref is Bath, then you have Gemma, Emka, Martin McFly, Direwolf, Reflex, Tiny Tanium and Rollin' Rat in the stripes and the skates.
And our non-skating officials for this bout are Speedy Convalesce, Pussy Panzerfaust, Fearleader, Hoffenroll, Agricola, Scapegoat, Ute Roos, Aggie Battery, Micmac Tigress, OU and Pretty Myth.
We are incredibly grateful to all our officials crew this week. And we've got 3 fully staffed officials crews, photographers, medics, statisticians galore, our games tournament oversights, heads. Just everyone has put in such a huge amount of effort to make this a really well-run, professional, without being paid tournament.
I would just like to do a massive shout out to our tournament head announcer, the lovely Beatrix.
Oh, we love the lovely
We
Beatrix.
do love the lovely Beatrix.
She's a gem.
She has managed this with efficiency and humour and has made the team come together.
She's wrangled a massive group of weirdos, in other words, which
Yeah,
is
and
really
of
what you
course-
have to do as a head announcer.
Announcers are the gobbiest weirdos of all weirdos.
So, Smartan and Wildcard. Smartan with some speed in their wheels right now.
Smartin being knocked out has to reset. Oh, and a direction gameplay penalty being called there.
And that's Freckles going to the 888 penalty box for Antwerp. And we're between turns 1 and 2, almost at a standstill. Look at the strength of these backwards blockers. Oh no! I was going to say, that's almost unbelievable. And it is, because Smartan picks up a track cut. But we've had a star pass to boot. Do you know what we've got, Billy?
We've got a 2-minute jam.
We've got a 2-minute jam. They're coming thick and fast in this second period.
Absolutely are. I tell you what, up against these packs, I would not want to be any of these jammers on a 2-minute jam.
I would not want to be a pivot turned jammer on a
certainly would
2-minute jam. I think the only, on the rare occasion that I'm pivot, it's nearly always I end up in a 2-minute jam, and I'm just like, but why? Let me jam for 10 seconds and then I'm good.
I've had a strategy that's enabled me to not have to deal with that, and that is
Not skating?
I don't skate, yeah.
Yeah, that is smart. Great power kill by Stockholm. Friday escorting Boo to the outfield as Smartin re-enters. Nice drawback there by Cherry Moshpit.
Yeah, this has been a really good penalty kill by Stockholm, even with a slightly thin pack on track at the moment.
I mean, when you've got Foxen and Friday, who are such a power pairing. Oh, lovely footwork by Boo.
Nice footwork. Yes, indeed. Picking up the 4 points. Both jammers now in a scoring position and a slight pack advantage to Antwerp on track as both jammers approach for a scoring chance.
And Boo taking absolutely no prisoners. And points at the ref and goes, excuse me, I'd like a penalty on Friday. And the ref goes, yeah, sure. So Stockholm are going to start 2 in the box. We've got oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, and indeed oh girl, and oh people of no specific gender. We've got 3 point. No, we've got a 6 point game.
We have a 6 point game.
Yikes! Big yikes!
Very exciting. I'm not sure what the prediction was for this. I don't think we looked at it before the start of the game, but it's certainly been a lot closer than some of the games that have been predicted to be very close. And Hipshot is out and clear.
If there's ever a time to use that tired old announcer simile like a knife through butter, it's to do with what Hipshot just did. Really went for the arms in the Stockholm wall there.
So Partio, and just as I was about to say, Partio stuck in that pack, Partio takes the inside and gets clear of the pack. But that's forcing the call off there from Antwerp.
And we're back to that 2 point differential.
Oh my word.
I need another coffee, but I do not have a magical filling coffee cup, tragically.
Well, that's just a lack of foresight on your part.
I think if I had any more coffee, I wouldn't be in a fit state to announce, to be fair, because
No,
of
the
the
levitation.
aforementioned vibrations.
So we've got Eau de Vilaine up on the jam line against Ju King in this jam. 10
Nice
minutes left.
funneling there by Hel Freya on the Antwerp side, who just directed Ju King really nicely into the Antwerp wall before going into offence.
Ju King with 1 to beat at the front of that Antwerp pack, and Ju King is your lead jammer.
Oh, I'm almost holding my breath. Sorry, I forgot to announce for a minute because I was watching the roller derby.
I'm just looking to see. Eau de Vilaine has the star in hand, and I'm just watching very carefully to see whether it's going to be a pass. It is not. It's a stash.
I think no matter how good Boo the pivot is, as a jammer, you know you're in the best position to do the work most of the time. 4 points being added to Stockholm Roller Derby's total. Boy, oh boy.
6 point game.
These numbers are stressful.
They are stressful.
But what a great way to start this final day of this WFTDA Regionals Tournament. We've got quite the crowd filling up. We're hoping to have a pretty packed house in here later. I think Crime City have run a kind of local promotion, and they do tend to get in quite a lot of the local community to these games, particularly as they will be in the gold medal games. So
indeed they will. So currently, as things stand, we have got 9 minutes and a half on the period clock. Antwerp Roller Derby on 123 points. Stockholm Roller Derby on 129.
And do you know what? Antwerp, if Antwerp have done thing really well in this game, is that they've figured out Jelmet in this second half, because Jelmet was really dominant in the first half. In this second half, they've locked her down really efficiently.
They've also managed to lock down Partio quite a lot as well, and so I think both of those jammers in quite high rotation.
But less so for Duking, I think. Nonetheless, hip shot with 4 in the pocket, completes a partial second pass, so picks up 3 more points. Oh my God! We've got the first lead change of the game. A 1 point lead to Antwerp with 8.5 minutes to go. I am deceased. You may have to announce without me for the remainder of the game, Billy, because I am in fact about to pass away.
So with Antwerp, with that very narrow lead, Scandi Crush as pivot sitting in the penalty box. Partio on the jam line. Up against Wildcard. Wildcard with that Stockholm pack at the front.
And everyone falling over at the pivot line. Stockholm Antwerp in full defensive mode.
Scandi Crush standing in the penalty box now, about to come out potentially. Oh, and we have a lead jammer status being called on Wildcard.
Beautiful work there from Wildcard, so patient. They're such a consistent jammer, Wildcard, aren't they? They're not necessarily the flashiest person. As I say that, of course they do an apex jump, because why wouldn't you? And a big mouth-guardy grin from Wildcard.
Partio is now clear of the pack on that initial pass as Wildcard comes through for a second scoring pass. Wildcard calls that jam before Partio has a chance to score. And Antwerp in the lead.
Yeah, that is a 7-point spread in Antwerp's favour. Hip shot heading back to the sucker punch jammer line. Hip shot has 100% leads in period 2.
That is amazing, because the majority of the lead went to Stockholm in the first period.
I don't think anyone else has 100% leads.
Half-time oranges must have been really powerful.
Yeah. Duking takes a big run up, flies into Freckles. Hip shot has 1 to beat. Rainbow Spike, she is through. Has 1 more to beat at the front, but picks up leads. Oh my goodness me.
Duking still stuck in that pack.
And do you know what Antwerp are doing? They're concentrating so much on their defence now. They know that that's the thing. Now, Duking draws hip shot back, goes, okay, she's not going to take the bait.
Yeah, so Duking looking to the bench just to see, like, do I draw this out? And yeah, if you were in the lead and you had a bit of a cushion, you would draw it out.
But Duking now on the floor, and the jam is called for injury.
Now, that means that Duking will not be...
So we're going to... Sorry, finish your sentence, Billy. I just noticed that the screen had changed.
We're not going to be... Duking is not going to be on track for the next 3 games, and Duking being...
3 jams.
3 jams, not 3 games.
Imagine.
Honestly. Imagine, yeah.
Oh, wonderful stuff there, and a big thank you to our medical
And yeah, Duking already has an ankle brace on, so possible that is just a little tweak. Big thank you to our medics for keeping us safe all weekend. I actually always really enjoy seeing the medics watching the roller derby, because some of them, it will be their first time watching this game.
I know that roller derby medics that attend the rainy city games have started skating.
That's pretty cool. Spreading the good word.
Yeah.
So a single point picked up by Antwerp in that jam takes their lead to 8 points. That's the biggest lead they've had, because of course the lead only changed for them a few jams ago.
We've got just over 6 minutes left in this game for Antwerp to extend their lead or for Stockholm to catch them.
And you know what? Not that it's our job to, Billy, but I can't call it right now.
I can't call it right now, but I will say that Duking going off at this stage is going to be a big blow for Stockholm.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 jams to sit off and maybe not able to come back on if their ankle is really sore. Oh, nice work from Hjelmet the Conqueror, though, keeping Stockholm's hopes alive.
Yeah, and this is going to break Stockholm's duck. They've had 4 jams in a row without a score, so Hjelmet the Conqueror putting those points up on the board, getting the end of that streak.
Antwerp doing nice work now, locking Hjelmet down a bit more. Shelock coming up to her wall, just checking to see how they're going. Hjelmet through for 4 points. Is the lead going to switch back to Stockholm in this jam?
It easily could. There's 4 points between the two jam teams in this stage. But, oh, lovely little apex jump. Stockholm.
And oh my gracious me, Billy, we've got a tied game.
I didn't even have time to say that there was a star pass in the last jam.
Which was to Shelock Holmes.
Yeah.
My nerves be shredded, Billy. They be in knots. They be tired. They be all kinds of tangles.
All kinds.
In my lower intestine right now.
I'm so glad you shared that with us.
Let's get ready for it.
Hip shots.
Yes, you go.
Partio. I can't do full sentences.
I'm not surprised. It's intense. This is intense. Oh, wow. Looks like Partio might have it, but no, it is. Hip shot.
Hip shot's got one to beat. Oh my God. I just waved my arms about in a very wibbly wobbly fashion.
You just have to let the feels out a little bit so that you can talk. Nice hit to the outside there by Scandi Crush, forcing hip shot all the way back.
But all hip shot's got to do is get 1 or 2 points on this pass to get that lead back. She's got her hips past at least 1. And that's, 1 point.
That's the important point because that's the lead. 138 points to Antwerp, 137 points.
I'm actually goose pimpled, Billy. I'm pimpled with goose.
There's a lot of geese in Malmo.
There's a lot of seagulls in Malmo, and I've known that because they've given me a 5 a.m. wake-up call for the last 3 days.
Absolute poetry from the crowd.
We have got Hjelmet the Conqueror. Straight up the outside, picks up lead jammer status.
Yeah, Hjelmet has come back with a vengeance in the last few jams.
And you know, at one point, the point spread in this game was 36 points, so we're down to a 1-point game. But we've had a star pass. Boo has taken the star for Antwerp, but Foxen with the drawback on Boo. Boo is still on an initial pass, not managed to complete the first pass. And Hjelmet the Conqueror is on a second scoring pass. So Stockholm have taken back the lead.
Scandi Crush throwing in some offense for Hjelmet, like a wrecking ball, just pushing that pack and that engagement zone up. What great work there from Scandi. Wildcard bridging. The defense in this game right now.
Beautiful hit there from Marie.
And great agility there for Marie, drawing Hjelmet all the way to the back of the pack.
Hjelmet on a second scoring pass at this stage, but Hjelmet's continuing to go on because they are scoring. Boo, however, is not. So Boo is still completing an initial pass.
Yeah, Boo's actually dropped a bit of defense now. And oh gosh. Now Hjelmet is heading to the box for a track cut, but she's going to be there for the rest of the jam.
So Antwerp have nothing to do but offend and get their jammer through.
To be offensive.
Be offensive.
Be
as offensive as you can.
Be offensive.
And Boo has cleared the pack on that initial pass, just about to put the star on and come round for a first scoring pass. 12 seconds left to rack up some points. Can you take the points?
They're going to have to go real fast. Hips past one. That's going to be potentially, no points. 4 going up for Stockholm because that would have been earned before Yelmet went to the box. Now Yelmet is standing. She must only have 1 second left.
Must be literally 1 second.
Because she went to that box and sat down at about 31 seconds to go.
So who do you put on your jam line? We have a minute left.
I wonder who.
Oh, we're having a team timeout?
Official timeout.
Official timeout.
Do you know what? For anyone who bought stream passes and thought, gosh, that's money I can't afford to spend, you're not regretting it now, are you, pals?
Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, Marie has picked up another penalty, and Marie was on 6. So Marie will now be fouling out of the game.
And you know what? Marie, the youngest player on Antwerp, is being replaced by Dart Pistol, the oldest player on Antwerp. And just another shout out to Dart Pistol. This is Dart Pistol's last game of roller derby. 15 years she's been in this magical game. She's played with Texas, she's played with Paris, and she's been with Antwerp for 8 years, maintaining something ridiculous like 97% attendance, according to her captain. And she is going to be kind of still helping out and coaching, but she's hanging up her competitive skates. And Antwerp, just want to give a big shout out to her. They're really grateful to her. They're just in awe of how wonderful she is, what a great tactician she is.
What a great time to go out.
I mean,
going out
on this game.
Achieved European regional tournament.
That's a high point, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. And this game is incredible as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to come on for what will potentially be the last jam. Antwerp have still got a timeout.
Yeah, so if they need to stop the clock in between jams, just in case there's a really fast hit it and quit it jam.
If I know Antwerp, if they think they can do it, they will.
Well, they have a power start, so they do have an advantage coming onto the track initially.
If you want Stockholm to win,
Yelmet
you want to wish on
almost ready to come back.
My heart rate has actually gone through the roof right now. My Fitbit's going to be like, you've done your cardio for the day. And I'll be like, no, I've just been sitting down. I'm having a big stretch to get out all these oogly boogly nerves. Hip shot is on the line for Antwerp's power start, but it's going to be fractional. I can't look. Billy, tell me what's going on.
So, hip shot is clear of the pack, picks up lead jammer status. Yelmet the Conqueror back on track. Foxen with the pivot stripe for Stockholm. Forearm penalty being called there.
On May then. Hip shot clears the pass. It's 3 points away.
Foxen has the jammer start for Stockholm. Only 2 blockers on track for Antwerp. Foxen with 3 points. Took 1 point, there's 2 in the penalty box.
Foxen, your jammer now for Stockholm. Hip shot held at the back of the pack. Beautiful defense.
Just waiting to see who comes out at what points.
And Foxen is still on the initial pass.
No, Foxen's on the first scoring pass.
Are they?
Yeah.
I just swear I didn't see them go round track.
Bet you $1.
Oh my God! And a track cut called on Foxen. Antwerp are in the lead. Call it! Why wouldn't you call it? The period clock's down. You're in the lead.
I think they maybe need to see how many points Foxen scored, or whether Foxen scored points before going to the penalty box.
I think she was. Oh my God, I can't cope. I've lost all my professionalism right now. And there we go.
Foxen with 4 points going up for that.
Look at that unofficial score.
Oh my word.
That is the tightest scoreline we've had all weekend.
What a game to call. And what a way for Dark Pistol to go out. Like,
yeah.
this experience has been phenomenal. But to go out on a 1-point game, and that's been finalised. That is our final score.
And Antwerp just apoplectic with delight. Oh, Billy, that was worth waking up for, wasn't it?
Absolutely was. I regret nothing. It's been a fantastic game. Right, well.
I mean, the score speaks for itself. Commiserations to Stockholm, who will be massively boosting the rankings after this weekend. But what a game for the number 8 seed, Antwerp Roller Derby, winning 150 to 149.
Well, to say that was an exciting game is the understatement of possibly the millennium.
I think
it's early in the millennium, but I'm going to say it anyway.
And you know what? It's going to set the tone for the rest of the day. Don't go away. We've got coming up for you next, Rainy City Roller Derby versus Paris, and then followed by the gold medal game. The bronze medal game, London versus Nantes, and then the gold medal game, Crime City versus Toulouse. I've been Loud and Queer.
I've been Billy No Skates, and this has been The Child
on production, and we hope you've enjoyed that. Come back in about half an hour for the next game of the day. We'll see you soon.